Hello, it's 4 News O'Clock on All News Nigeria. I am Opeyemi Olugbemi. Here are the headlines for today. Turkey faces runoff election as Erdogan leads. President Zelensky visits German Chancellor. Now the news. Turkey headed for a runoff vote after President Tayyip Erdogan led over his opposition rival Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu in Sunday's election, but fell short of an outright majority to extend his 20-year rule of the NATO member country. Neither Erdogan nor Kılıçdaroğlu cleared the 50% threshold needed to avoid a second round to be held on May 28 in an election seen as a verdict on Erdogan's increasingly authoritarian path. The presidential vote will decide not only who leads Turkey, but also whether it reverts to a more secular democratic path, how it will handle its severe cost of living crisis, and manage key relations with Russia, the Middle East, and the West. Kılıçdaroğlu, who said he would prevail in the runoff, urged the supporters to be patient and accused Erdogan's party of interfering with the counting and reporting of results. He has pledged to revive democracy after years of state repression, return to orthodox economic policies, empower institutions that lost autonomy under Erdogan, and rebuild frail ties with the West. But Erdogan performed better than pre-election polls had predicted, and he appeared in a confident and combative mood as he addressed his supporters. The choice of Turkey's next president is one of the most consequential political decisions in the country's 100-year history, and will reverberate well beyond Turkey's borders. A victory for Erdogan, one of President Vladimir Putin's most important allies, will likely cheer the Kremlin but unnerve the Biden administration as well as many European and Middle Eastern leaders who had troubled relations with Erdogan. Turkey's longest-serving leader has turned the NATO member and Europe's second-largest country into a global player, modernized it through mega-projects such as new bridges and airports, and builds and arms industry sought by foreign states. But its volatile economic policy of low interest rates, which set off a spiraling cost of living crisis and inflation, left him prey to voters' anger. His government's slow response to a devastating earthquake in southeast Turkey had killed 50,000 people earlier this year, added to voters' dismay. In other news, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Sunday had talks with German leaders in his first visit to the country since Russia's invasion. Zelensky called Germany a true friend in his country's battle against Russia as Berlin pledged unwavering support for Kyiv ahead of a widely expected counter-offensive. Berlin unveiled a new military package worth 2.7 billion euros, its biggest yet, for Ukraine. Berlin Chancellor Olaf Scholz vowed to back Ukraine for as long as it is necessary. This includes advanced German Leopard tanks and more anti-aircraft systems to defend Ukraine from almost daily deadly Russian missile and drone attacks. President Zelensky described the new tranche as the largest since the beginning of the full-scale aggression by Russia in February 2022. The war has transformed Germany's attitude towards Ukraine, moving from being a reluctant supplier of military hardware to virtually doubling its contribution overnight. Russia accuses Ukraine of repeatedly hitting targets inside Russia, including a reported drone attack on Moscow's Kremlin earlier this month. Ukraine denies the accusations while also stressing that it has a legitimate right to use force and other means to fully deoccupy its territories currently under Russian control. These include 4 regions in the south and east, as well as the Crimea Peninsula annexed by Moscow in 2014. And that's it on today's news. To keep up with All News Nigeria, kindly follow us on all social media platforms displayed on the screen. We'll be back with more news updates. Until then, stay tuned. I am Opeyemi Olugbemi. You have a lovely evening.